Okay, welcome everybody to this new video. Not as the usual videos on my channel, these are no stream highlights. It's just a video teaching you guys how to start out in Clash Royale, because as a low level you're facing, a lot of the times you're facing people 2-3 levels higher than you, and maybe you don't know how to beat them. So I will give you some tricks for that, how you can beat people with higher cards than you, and I will teach you some tricks and to make your life easier just starting out the game. I will do this because a lot of the YouTubers don't cover this part of the game. They just let you see all the high level gameplay, but if you can make it up there, so what's the point of that? So without further ado, let's start some replays, and I will teach you how it works. As a low level player, the key is to make positive elixir trades, so you can get the elixir advantage over your opponent. So it is key to use the cards that are quite good and at giving you this advantage, like the skeleton army. Melt down the giant and you get a +2 elixir trade out of it. As you can see here, the skeleton army took down the giant as well as the X-bow. So with 3 elixir we took down 11. And just because he couldn't defend it because he was out of elixir, we took the tower down already. So also a great example, the skeleton army is really weak against the bomber, so you have to look for those combinations of cards that can take down other cards very easily. Now the witch with the deck I'm using is really hard to take down, but I wait until she locks to the tower and then I will put down some goblins. Because a few hits of the witch doesn't matter, but if she stays too long in your tower, you will get a lot of damage against you. Also, a really good tip for you if you're starting out is by playing with the epic cards you're getting. Because in general the epic cards of level 1 are really good against the common and rare cards at the same level, so that's always your best bet. In this case I'm using the X-bow because at this level people don't know how to defend it very well. But if you don't have the X-bow but some other epic cards like the Prince, also very nice to use on low level. It is very important to have a balanced deck. So in my deck you can see I have some group targeting units. I have also some really high hitting one target units, as well as some small things that can distract princes and P.E.K.K.A.s and things like that. So it is really important to find the good balance in your team. And as you saw in this video, it was if you take all the elements I told you, it isn't too hard to win from levels higher than you. Here I have a replay of me beating up a level 7 and I'm a level 3, so he's 4 levels higher, and he also got a legendary card, so I was quite on the downside of this battle, but I still managed to win. And why did I win? Just because I made use of these positive elixir trades. So the giant skeleton, you can take it down with the skeleton army, which is an elixir trade of 3 or 7, so you get a positive 4 elixir trade out of that. So as you can see I have 7 elixir already and he is just at 1. So I'm waiting for the opportunity to play my X-bow, because once you play the X-bow they have to defend it and they can save up elixir to make their own push. As you can see, yeah, even had the Ice Wizard, it's a legendary card, but because he didn't play it right, he wasn't able to make a good push out of it. Also you have 3 types of decks. You have the build up deck, so there's a deck with the giant for example. You have to build up from the deck from behind, and you have to put cards behind your giant. So you put down the giant, then you put down splash damage, and then you put down some high hitting troop like the P.E.K.K.A. behind it. And then you have the cycle decks, so decks with the Hawk Rider and the Spear Goblins, just a lot of chip damage that you can do. And finally you can take down the tower. And then you have decks like this with the towers that can target the buildings. And what you basically want to do is surprise your opponent. So if he puts a giant on the right lane, you can put down your tower on the left lane. So they have to choose, because if they have a deck with a giant, they want to build up troops behind it. And if you make them play those troops on the other side, they have to focus on two sides, and that's not what they want to do with that kind of deck. And that's what you saw me doing over here. He was playing the right side, so I put my X-bow down on the left side. Also, you want to make sure that you learn what all the cards are doing. So, for example, the giant skeleton, you want to make sure that he doesn't make it to your tower, because the bomb does a lot of damage after that. So now he's focusing on the X-bow, but I don't know why, because that X-bow already took down the tower and it can't shoot anything else. So because of him focusing on that X-bow, I took down the other tower as well. So it's also a key point to take down higher level people is to catch them off guard, because he wasn't focusing on that tower and we could sneak up to it and take it down. So I have one gameplay left for you to share. It's this one. As you can see, I'm quite high up in trophies for my level, but that's just because I know the game and how to play my cards and to get positive elixir trades. Like what he's doing now, you don't want to do this with your giant, because a giant you want to build up a very strong attack from the back and to put multiple troops behind it. And this way I could take it down very easily with my skeleton army, and I placed down the bomber for the barbarians, also very valuable move. Because if you place down the bomber, you can take down barbarians very easily and you get +2 elixir trade out of it. Now he's just sitting on 10 elixir, that's also a very important thing to know. Never stay on 10 elixir, always make sure you play your cards before you are full on elixirs, so you don't waste anything you can play. For the X-bow, if you want to play the X-bow, always make sure you have a supporting troop behind it, so if you want to counter it, that you can kill it. So now I have the bomber with it, for instead to place the barbarians at the other side, I could have killed them and the X-bow could have locked in the tower. Like now I didn't have any elixir to defend the X-bow and it's almost down, but one big benefit of the X-bow is it is never down before it's down. As you can see here, it just had around 10% health left and still took around 400 damage on the tower. So that's a very big thing of the X-bow, why it's so good on low level. Now he plays his giant, and I quickly put the mini packer on the witch, so the splash damage of the witch can take out the entire skeleton army of mine. Then the mini packer as well as the skeleton army can take down the giant as well. So the witch and giant are together 10 elixir, and the mini packer and the skeleton army 7. So also 3 elixir trade for me there. And I think this was the point he gave up. Oh no, he didn't. But we took the 3 crown because he wanted to get to the arc tower, but he forgot to defend. And that's a really important thing as well for low level gameplay. You always want to defend your opponent attacks, because if they have a giant level 4 or so and you don't defend it, your tower will go down. So always defend and then go for the counter attack. If few troops survive, just put put the giant in front or put the expert down or do whatever, and make sure the counter attack counts. So to summarize this, what you want to do as a low level, build a deck around your epic cards, because epic cards are really strong early in the game. Make sure your deck is balanced. I will explain this with my deck. I got the mini packer for big threats like the giant. I got the bomber for splash damage. I got the musketeer for air defense. Then I got the goblins for distracting princes and stuff like that. So, and then I got the fireball, the arrows, in case I have to defend the expo quickly. And then the skeleton army just to kill giants and stuff like that, because people are using a lot of giants at this level. So also what you want to do is counter-attacking. Counter-attacks are really important at this level, because you have to defend. That's the most important thing you have to do against those high level people. Then if a few troops survive, you can support those with another troop and make sure your attack counts as well. And also a thing you want to do is focus on positive elixir traits, like killing a giant with a skeleton army and things like that. Also a small tip I have is play with the sounds on if you can, because if you're focusing on one side and they put down a mini pack, for example, on the other side, you can hear it without focusing on that lane. So it's really nice to tell if there's a threat coming. So I think this will be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to follow me on Twitter, and if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you guys back in the next video. Thanks for watching.